It's tutorial time! So I have a brand new bag of products for this week. All the same products I had picked out yesterday are all the only products I'm going to use for the week. I also want to remind you that I am going to be taking over Neo's makeup story today. I am going to be doing a tutorial on her. You would have seen it yesterday. It was that intense purple cut crease look, and definitely go over there to see more of me doing makeup on someone else. So I did a poll and it's still at 100% that people want to see more of me doing makeup on other people. So I'm after recruiting Mother Marzipan there. Like, I'm going to definitely get you on stories and we'll do a tutorial with you as the model. And I will get a few other people in as well, like sisters and all that kind of stuff. I'm frozen, I'm in my blanket. I'm still using, like, I thought this was completely finished and then I decided to cut it open, and I'm on week 3 of continuing to still use this concealer from MAC. It's the Select Cover Up. I'm using it as my eyeshadow base, and today I'm going to do a tutorial using this week's palette, which I picked out is the Rose Gold palette. So I just wanted to remind everyone, I'm still on my no buy, and that is why I do shop my stash every single week. So I rediscover all of my products. Now, I do have to get a lot of my stuff still left in Amsterdam, so I need to go back and get the rest of my products. So at the moment, my stash is limited. Not all of my products that I have are available, but that's the whole point of Shop My Stash, so I don't feel the need to buy something new, appreciate what I have, and use up what I have as well. It's just better for the environment. So as usual, we are going to do our eyes first. I'm just tapping out my crease just in case anything is built up. I'm going to go into this shade here called Man Eater. I want to do something a little bit intense. I am using a Pixie E03 brush. This is a cute little pencil brush, and we're going to stamp and wiggle all along the crease to set down that colour. So this is going to be our magic crease shade. I don't know why it's magic, but it's quite an intense dark red shade, quite a little bit plummy. So I'm just going to stamp and wiggle all into my crease and tap, tap, tap. Stamp and wiggle the whole way around. Next, I'm going to go in with a Sosu SK03 brush, and we're going to start blending the top part of the crease that we just set down. I'm going to use this shade here called Demure. It's like a muted soft pink. So I'm just going to pop that in, and I've done this eye already so you can see the finished effect before we start. So what you want to do is you want to place down the eyeshadow extremely gently onto the top part of the crease and start blending it out. Any kind of a fluffy brush will do this for you, but take your time. You could go faster, but the blend mightn't be as precise, and we want to get it as nicely blended as possible. And you can slowly start seeing that line to kind of fade nicely into a soft pink finish. Next, I'm going to create some more lid shape on my eyelids. I'm going to go back in with that concealer brush, and I'm not going to be precise at all. I'm just going to pop it in here, just creating more space, just kind of eliminating some of that pink. And it's going to be kind of like a very soft cut crease with absolutely no precision. So this is like so easy. Next, with just my finger, I'm going to go into this beautiful shade called Trust Fund. And we're going to add it on top of where we created that space. Those two shades together are so pretty. And as I said before, we don't want it to be so precise. Like, we don't want to have like a precise cut crease line in the crease. Just want it all to blend nicely together, and just focusing on the inner half of the eyelid. Next, I'm going to go back into that Man Eater shade, and I'm just going to create that line, that V shape that's going to help contour the eyes, and we're going to darken up the outer corner then. to kind of merge these two colours nicely together, I'm going to go into this shade here called Fling. I just want to show you the difference. So I have it laid down here in between the Manicure shade and Trust Fund. You can see that it's just blending together nicely. So again, on my finger, I'm just going to go onto the edge of Trust Fund, which is that more goldy shade, and Manicure, which is that darker matte shade on the outside. And you can see the colours just fading much better together. And that is what these tutorials are all about, just getting those small little hints and tips on how to create a really pro finish looking eye. Hey guys, sorry, I had to take a break to eat lunch. I had leek and potato soup. So I've gone ahead and I've done my eyeliner here. So I'm just going to pop it on here. I'm using the Gel Liner 77 by Inglot, and I'm using this angle brush by Sigma STE06. Just going to pop that all along the lash line. So I wanted to tell you about the morning I've had, and basically it was a very, very good morning. The space that I'm using here at home is like a spare room, kind of a study, and like my mom was like, oh, feel free to use it, you know, for clients and stuff. And I'm being like, oh, I don't want to intrude, you know, because I did come home all of a sudden, like it wasn't really planned. And I'm going to like do it up a bit so that I can start taking clients here. So now the eyeliner is down, I'm going to go into an Inglot. Oh no, this is a Suva 350 brush. This is the shape of it. And the black shade is called Black Truffle. And we're just going to like tap along the liner, and that's just going to kind of smoke it out a tiny bit. So this morning we got a carpenter kind of kitchen guy to come in and have a look at the room, and he like measured it all up. And I kind of want to have like this really nice storage space, white drawers, you know, everything for the makeup. I don't really have many accessories, but I was saying to mom, like, you know, we could put her handbags on display, whatever, like make use of the space, because at the moment it's kind of like a blank wall. Well, I'll show you some photos afterwards actually, and we can like, I can share the progress. And then mom and dad, they are doing up a cottage out the road a little bit, and it's at the stage now where we have to start looking at interior design. Just adding a little bit of man-eater just above the black liner, just to bring it back into the eye look a little bit. And we brought the guy out to the kitchen, out to the cottage, and he was like, you know, giving us ideas for the kitchen. And it's such a small little cottage, but we like built on a little bit of a little bit of an extension. So it's all very exciting stuff going on around here, and just stuff that I'm finding very interesting, like interior designing and all that kind of stuff, just kind of getting the creative juices flowing. And it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really enjoying being back home, and I'm really looking forward to being able to take clients and film more. And I know I'm doing lots of story tutorials here, but I want to get back into like the production of really cool videos and editing and all that kind of stuff, and like product photography, product videography. I love all that kind of stuff. Alrighty, it's time to move on to face. I'm just going to get some of my Jaya makeup remover. I got like eyeshadow all down here because I was using my fingers, and then I was like placing my fingers on my face. I'm also just going to rub it lightly all along underneath the eye to get rid of any fallout. For a primer, I have this little sample. It's Dermalogica Skin Perfect Primer. It has an SPF of 30 in it, and it has a tiny little bit of tint to it, and you all know that I stay very, very pale. I guess the whole thing behind this is that it is an SPF, it's a primer, it's probably a moisturizer as well, and also a bit of a tint so that the SPF in it won't like make you look washed out. So for this week I picked out the Jaya BB cream, and I've never used it before, so I'm just opening it up. There's two different types. There's one for normal, dry and sensitive skin, that's one I have here, and then there's another type for oily and combination skin, and there are 3 different shades. So the shade that I have here is the shade Natural. There's a light and there's a dark as well. And I have a feeling that this is going to be a little bit too dark for me because usually I go for a light shade. Just going to give it a bit of a shake and let's see what it's like. So it's a BB cream, so it's like a tinted moisturizer. So it's going to be super lightweight on the skin. I'm just popping that there. And let's see how we apply it. Yeah, it's way too dark. So I'm going to just blend it out with some concealer as well. I've let the BB cream just sit on my face. I just wanted to kind of see what it feels like, and it feels lovely. It looks so natural. Like you can, it is definitely a light coverage, but it has camouflage, like, and evens out my skin tone. You can still see my harsh blemishes coming through, which what I was expecting that, but it is very dark for me. Like I look like I have done a bad fake tan job on my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with a dual fiber brush. I think this is from MAC. It is all rubbed off, MAC 187. And I'm just going to buff that. It's a foundation actually. It's the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. So those two, the BB cream and this will just mix together just to bring down the colour of the BB cream so it's not too dark on my face. I'm just popping in a tiny bit of that MAC concealer underneath my eye. I just want to get rid of that MAC. I just want to use it up as much as possible now this week to get to the very end of it. Now, a new product for me to use. So this is the Beauty Pie bronzer in the shade Goldielux Quantum Bronzer. I think that's the shade. I used this on Neve yesterday, so she got to try it before I did, and it blended out beautifully on Neve's skin. And it is a little bit like darker than my usual go-to, which is the Huda light. So we just have to be a little bit more careful with applying the product, and it is quite pigmented and it blends out lovely. So I always start off with my forehead because if I make any mistakes getting to know the product, that I can really just blend it out because there's so much surface space there. So I always do my forehead, and then we'll go into the cheekbones to define the cheeks, and I always bring a little bit down the sides of my nose as well. For powder blush this week, I'm using the Bare Minerals Gen Nude in the shade Pink Me Up, using the same brush. And we're just going to pop it onto the cheeks, just like that. And I love blush, so I add quite a bit. And we're going to see if we need to reassess the blush after the whole face is done, because sometimes blushes, they just fade off straight away. For highlighter this week, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter, which I love, and it absolutely works on everyone. It's so good. It's one of those ones that is just an all-rounder, and you can really build it up or you can sheer it out, whatever way you like to use your highlighter. This was limited edition. It was like one of those limited edition, and then it sells out, and then it comes back, and then it sells out, and then it comes back again. And so I reckon it's going to be one of those for a long time that they'll keep bringing it back, because it is such a brilliant product, but it is like scaremongering everyone. I just quickly did my brows. I was using the Brow Contour Pro pen by Benefit. I'm going to go back to the eyes now. So I am using the same brush from earlier, going into that Man Eater shade, and I'm going to go along the lower lash line. And I'm thinking of doing something a little creative with this look, and I think I might add a bit of blue. Remember, I picked out so many blue products. I might add a pop of blue on the inner corner and on the waterline maybe. I really wanted to add a pop of blue somewhere in Neve's yesterday, but I ended up forgetting. And I think today might be the day to add in a pop of blue. So at the start of the week, I picked out some blue products, including this Inkblot Gel Liner. This is the shade 70. So let's try this. I want to do a full like blue look, but let's see what this is like as a pop of colour into the waterline. And what I want to do then is I want to bring it into the inner corner and then use one of the pigments on top of it. I don't mind it going on my lashes. I'll be going over my lashes with some mascara. And this is so liquid because I mixed it with some Duraline. Ooh. So for the inner corner, I'm just going to dab it on very gently and not very precisely. and just make sure that it's lined up with that waterline. I should really go in a bit closer when I'm doing this using the camera so I can see what I'm actually doing. And I'm going to go over that then with a pigment, and it's going to look more electric. Cool. So I have this Inglot pigment. It is in the shade 59. It's kind of like a blue reflect pigment. You can see it there in my finger. So I'm going to pop that over the blue on my inner corner, and it's going to hopefully look like it's glowing, like super bright. There's a cat outside. I want him to come over to me, but the cats that are like roaming around here are quite wild, so they don't like human interaction. They like run whenever I run out to them. That turned out quite nice. I'm very happy with that. So it will all come together even more when I do my lashes and lips and everything. So I am going to go in with Huda Beauty, what's it called? Resting Boss Face. And I can barely even breathe, let alone talk, while I'm spritzing that on, because it absolutely reeks. I went ahead and I applied mascara to my lashes. I'm probably going to add some lashes. I have these AliExpress ones I'm just going to pop on. And I want to try the Beauty Pie lip products that I got. So these are completely new. This is my first time using them. So this is the lip liner. This is in the shade Cowboy Nude. It's so creamy, and I love a creamy lip liner. And it's one of those ones that kind of dried out. I swatched it here earlier and it doesn't budge. Even though it went on so creamy, it's so nice. So now I have a Beauty Pie lipstick as well, and this is in the shade Baby Berry. So I'm not sure if this is going to go with the look. We're going to try it anyway. And this is super hydrating. It's like a little bit of a sheen on the lips. So that is the finished look. I love how the blue pop turned out. It turned out really nice against the rest of the colour, so I'm very happy with that. I was clearly scratching my neck. And I am going to go away now. Let me know if you have any questions. I popped on those lashes as well. They're not my favourite. Like, my favourite are the Olivia's by Huda Beauty, but they died last week. So these are still nice, but they're huge. Like, they're just, look how big they are from side view. They're quite big. So they're just a little bit too dramatic for me, I think. But they're not the worst. Like, I've worn much more dramatic lashes. We'll get away with it for now. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm always hanging out, waiting for you in my DMs. I am really loving the texture of this lipstick. It's like a jelly, kind of a gel lipstick. It's really nice. It's making my lips feel really plump and hydrated, and it's Beauty Pie.